Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm really glad that you're here. I'm also kind of new here, so I guess pretty much in every sense, we're all new here. So welcome to all of us. My name is Rhea Peterson, if I didn't already say that, and today is going to be kind of a spring clean, purge, refresh, and organize my kitchen day. I have some cupboards that are just over full because I've got stuff that Connor and I got when we got married that I just don't really use anymore, that just needs to go, obviously. And then we have the water bottle cupboard, which I think is just straight up dangerous to open at this point. So I got some supplies. And I don't know if I'm going to use all of them for this. Thankfully, you can return things or repurpose them. I mean, how many different uses could you think of for one of these alone? So that's what we're gonna do today, and I'm very excited. If you like my content, please, if you could just take the time to like, subscribe, that would be great. I upload every week. Yeah, I hope this motivates you to maybe start a project that you've been putting off, because I have definitely been putting this in particular off for a while, and yeah, I'm excited. So let's go. Okay, so I am starting off with the water bottle cupboard. We have a lot of water bottles, as you can see. I just don't often get rid of them because this cupboard is so deep. I don't really think about it, and I have 3 kids. We've collected water bottles over the years. I'm a very active person, as is my husband. We just have a lot of water bottles. And it has spilled over into another cupboard. This is where I keep all of the kids' water bottles and like sippy cups and things like that they've just grown out of that we don't use. The Camelback ones are really nice, but my kids chew on the mouthpieces, so I'm just tired of replacing them. So I got some Hydro Flasks and Yeti water bottles, and I don't need 5 Camelback water bottles anymore. So I'm just gonna thin it out. I'm gonna pare it down. I'm kind of taking this project in sections. I've picked the 2 most like overwhelming sections, which is the water bottle cupboard, and then I'm also going to do my dishes cupboard and glassware cupboard first, because those are the things that kind of been like needling at me, and then I'll move into the other areas of the kitchen. The blender bottles, we have gone through a lot of them. The lids have broken. I found these really nice ones at Costco, but there was a bit of a dilemma on the red lid blender bottle. It was the very first one my husband ever got, and we didn't need it, so I opted to get rid of it, and I'll just talk to him about it when he gets home. Oops. Up on the top, I keep all of like the manuals for things, and apparently a clock. I don't know why it was there, or that. I don't know why. And then I also have a box of like Hugo's kindergarten pictures and everything that's just been sitting up there. So I need to find a better solution for that. But I'm just going to empty everything out, vacuum, and wipe down all of the cupboards that I clean out today with a vinegar water spray. You'll see me do that quite a bit. And then on the worst parts, like scuffs and things like that, I will use a magic eraser. So now I'm just paring down the manuals. I'm getting rid of anything that we don't own anymore, and I'm really only going to keep the things like appliances in the house, like the fridge and the microwave, and a couple of manuals for some bigger tools that we have in the shed. And then this basket, I keep all of like the felt sliders and things that you put under chairs, things you put in the cabinets to help them, like the little rubber stops to keep them from slamming really hard. And I'm just sorting through that. It's kind of a random catch-all for like door stoppers and letters, and it makes sense to me, but I can see how if someone else were to go through that, they would be like, Rhea, what is this? But I'm just kind of sorting through it, throwing away things that we don't need and getting it a little bit better organized. This is like, I don't like using Ziploc bags a lot for food, but I do like it as an organizational tool because they are recyclable and it's better than a bunch of boxes. I'm using one of my little plastic containers for the filters for the refrigerator, and I'm also measuring out drawer liners. I don't have enough liner for everything that I'm cleaning out today, so I'm being strategic. The things that really matter, where it's gonna like bug me that things are sliding around, those get drawer liners, and then other areas I'll just do it later if I feel like it. Also, these things are hard to adjust, and they did not line up the holes right on this one, so I had to get a little creative to get the pegs to go in all the way. Please don't judge me, but Stanley for the win. But I also created a new dilemma for myself because my blue basket won't fit, so I'll get creative with that too. And now I'm sorting through the water bottles. It does seem like I'm keeping a lot, but we like to go out. We go to the beach, we go to the zoo, we go camping. And so the bigger water bottles are to refill the smaller ones, honestly. And it's just nice to have a couple of them. Those are all of my running water bottles. I decided to put them with the bin that I keep all of like my gels and fuel things in the pantry, and then everything else is just kind of going in there. Stuff I don't use as frequently is going in the back, and then I guess it goes without saying the stuff I use more often is going in the front. The lunch bin pail, it'll work for now, but once I get a lunch box for Alice, I'm going to have to rethink that one. And I'm just taking all of Hugo's and Callum's art from like kindergarten, and I'm going to move that into a bin upstairs where I keep all of their homeschooling stuff too. But I don't actually homeschool them anymore, but we do use the stuff to reference when they're having a hard time with the concept. And I moved the other stuff into this plastic bin. The blue one will go in a different spot. It does, I guess, make more sense now to like a person who doesn't have ADHD. I don't know why I put the fly strips in there though, but again, it made sense at the time, so oh well. But there's the cupboard. We'll look at it again later. Now I moved on to the glasses. We kind of switched to mason jars for everything. They're easier to replace when they get broken, and we don't have any like full matching sets of glasses anymore, so I just opted to get rid of the survivors. And we're just going to do all mason jars except for a couple exceptions, the big goblets, which are awesome for root beer floats. And then some fancier glasses for, I don't know, fancy drinks. This mug, it's the best. I got it for Connor. I love it. Everyone should have it. I found it on Etsy. Although I guess if you're not a dad, it probably wouldn't suit you very well. But anyways, Alice is helping me go through all of the mugs. We did purge quite a few of those, and I'm just wiping down the cabinets again. Now I'm contemplating where everything's gonna go. I'm kind of a person of habit. Change is difficult for me. So a lot of things are going to go in a similar home, just pared down, because also clutter is difficult for me. So I'm trying to find that balance and not be too frazzled by everything, but it does feel really good to pare things down, but have things still where it makes sense that they should go in my head. So yeah, the Farkle goes all the way at the top with the pens. It might not make sense to you, but we play Farkle after dinner, and the pen thing just went there once for a while because kids were getting into all of my pens and they were going missing, or things were getting drawn on that shouldn't, and it just ended up in there. And now like that's just where it goes. That's where everybody goes to get a pen. It just makes sense to us now. So sorry if this is driving some of you crazy. Like, Rhea, why are you putting those things there? Because it makes sense to me. I'm so sorry. I have a lot of mason jars too. I do canning occasionally, and so I have a lot of the jars, and then when I do fruit prep and things like that, I will keep certain things in glass, so it's nice to have it all handy. And like I said, we go through kind of a lot of glasses, so it's good to have just a backstock of replacement glasses. But I'm still going to keep everything in here, just adjust the shelves, put a liner in there so things don't slide around as easily. I keep all of my mason jars in here, and then I also keep all of my like mixing bowls and things like that. So I'm just going to clean it out and put everything in there just a little bit nicer. Just a bit of a refresh for this cabinet. Now I'm on to some of the drawers. Like I said, I'm doing these areas in sections. I like to do projects like this so that I'm not overwhelmed by all of the clutter if I have to stop. And so mostly it just doesn't feel overwhelming, like I'm never going to finish this. I kind of do like little micro sections, if you will. So once I finished like the main areas that were really bothering me, I just took it little by little, and now I'm working on just some drawers, adding liners. This one didn't really need a lot of help, but I knew I wanted a liner in it. And this drawer, I knew I needed to pare down a little bit, and all of the drawers needed to be kind of just, a spring clean wipe out type situation. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking it drawer by drawer, making sure that I'm not creating kind of a chaotic mess, trying to go through everything, purge everything all at once, and then put it back together, but just do it in small sections. So that like I can say, yeah, I got this done. But I'm also not just, like I said, overwhelmed by the clutter, because I have a hard time with lots and lots of clutter everywhere, which I don't think is abnormal. I feel like everybody probably gets kind of bothered when things start to pile up, like literally. Now that I have cleaned out kind of this side of the kitchen, I'm just going to go through and wipe down the outsides of all of the cupboards. And like I said, I'm using the vinegar water spray, a microfiber cloth, and then I have a magic eraser. You have to be gentle with the magic eraser, but I find that it does a good job getting like the scuffs and things like that off of the cabinet. But you just kind of gently scrub it until it's gone, but you do want to wipe it down after, because it leaves like this white kind of chalky film. I'm not sure what the magic is that they put in it, but it does leave a little bit of a residue. So I just wipe it down afterwards and it does the trick. It doesn't do much for like literal chunks out of your cabinet, unfortunately, but oh well. This cabinet I keep all of the Tupperware in. We've kind of phased out a lot of the plastic, but we do keep some things around, especially like Connor likes to take plastic containers to work, and sometimes like with soups and things like that, I just don't have enough glass to keep it all in. So we keep just a couple of things around. No shade to people who use exclusively plastic, but I just prefer glass. But yeah, this cupboard didn't really need a lot, just to wipe down a little bit of paring down on some of the plastic containers that we just don't use anymore. And then I just wiped it down, and kind of this is a wash and repeat kind of action. I did not film what this cupboard looked like before I pulled it all out, but this is my baking cupboard where I keep all of the measuring things. And I just took some of the plastic containers from the previous cupboard and repurposed them to be holders for other things. So it's a use what you have kind of scenario, which I am all for. I love all of like the pretty matching containers, but I mean, that can add up. And if you have something that will work, you might as well use it. How many people are going to open that cupboard and be like, wow, you really could have used a better container to hold this? No, they're going to be like, wow, look how organized and lovely your cupboard looks. Or you'll be like, why are you opening my cupboards? So, there's a lot of ways that that conversation could go. This is another drawer where I used what I had. I was able to pull out a lot of lids that we didn't have the containers for or that I got rid of. And then I took some of the containers, like the bigger ones that we just don't use for food anymore, and I used them there to contain things. They're still containing. They're just containing lids instead of food. This is my junk drawer, my catch-all drawer. I believe everybody has one of these, so I don't feel much shame. Not that I carry much shame about anything anyways, but this needed a heavy clean out. There was just a lot of stuff, just the little like things that you find and you're trying to tidy up and you don't really have a spot for it. That's the junk drawer, right? But I was able to find spots, and I got these at Target. It was like $2 for a 3-pack or a 2-pack. I don't remember exactly. I apologize. But yeah, doesn't this look so much better? And maybe in 6 months when I'm doing all of this again, you'll get to see me clean that drawer out again, and it'll be just as bad. But again, just finishing this section, wiping down all the fronts of the cabinets and making everything look good. I take the magic eraser around the bottom parts of the trim because, I like to vacuum a lot instead of sweeping, and it does leave a scuff, and the magic eraser does the trick. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks a lot better. And then I'm going to vacuum again, but I was extra careful this time. Ta-da! The water bottle cupboard. Sorry, I'm just getting over a cold. It's so much better. It's far more functional. My kids can find their water bottles more easily. I can find water bottles more easily, and everything slides in and out, even with the drawer liners there. So I'm really happy with how this cupboard turned out, and it has managed to stay clean and organized, which I absolutely am stoked about. It looks really, really good. I can get to everything in the back by just sliding everything around. I know where everything is. I know what I have. And it's just a lot more functional. And I'm not afraid to open this cupboard anymore. So it turned out really, really good. Looks so much better. I'm so happy with how everything turned out. It's a lot less overwhelming. I can see where everything is, and I don't have a bunch of stuff rolling around in everything that I just don't use anymore. It can go off to someone else who will be excited to find it, I hope. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how I organize and declutter larger areas. I do it in sections, and it seems to work really, really well. And I really love how I can stop and come back to it and everything's not just a big giant mess. So let me know how you like to organize. Do you just dump it all out and hope for the best? Do you have ways that you like to manage doing things like that? Because I am always interested in gaining more wisdom. But there are a couple drawers that you didn't see me clean out, but one of them is the junk drawer that you did see me clean out. It looks so much better. This is Alice's preschool homeschool drawer that got cleaned out. I do have an empty drawer. And then the recipe drawer where I keep my recipes for the week. It helps me stay organized that way so I can just find everything. But that's it. That's everything. I loved how it turned out. The kitchen's really clean and organized, which I feel like I've said a number of times now. So I'll just stop going on about that. But it looks really good and I'm really excited. Okay, my friends, that is the organizing. We did it. We made it to the end. Hooray! I feel really glad that all of that is done and ready to go for the spring and summer, and I hope that you enjoyed watching my cupboards get clean as much as I enjoyed cleaning them. Of course, my goal in sharing all of this with you is to help motivate you to maybe pick a project, maybe clean something, cook something, or organize something that maybe you've been putting off, or maybe you're just kind of feeling in a lull. I definitely know what it is like to just not want to do it, and it kind of gets away from you. So I hope that that helped. I hope that you were able to maybe pick a project and let me know in the comments what you're thinking about doing or what you did. Maybe you did it while I was doing my stuff, which is just as exciting. Ooh. Thank you so much. If you made it to the end, I really, really appreciate it. If you could give my content a like and subscribe to my channel, that would be really great. And I'm just really excited for next time. Bye.